Multiplying binomials, aka FOIL method. Now, you don't have to do it by this method because basically you're just distributing twice. But if you do it by this exact method, it lets you not skip over terms, and it just kind of gives you a pattern for those that like a pattern. And it stands for first, outer, inner, last. So let's say I had x plus 2 and x plus 8. The first term of each parentheses are x's. So x times x, x squared. Well, then it says the outer term. So we're going to do the outer terms. You got this one and that one. So the outer terms, x and 8 plus 8x. Then you're going to do the inner terms. 2 times x, 2x. Last terms, 2 times 8, 16. Add your like terms, which if they're in descending order for both of them, it typically will be your middle two terms. So x squared plus 10x plus 16. Now basically notice all you did was you distributed the x to both terms. Then you distributed the positive 2 to both terms. So that's what I was talking about. If you want to consider it basically distributing each term through, you can do it that way or the FOIL method. So let's do another one. Let's throw a coefficient in there. 2x plus 3 and x plus 7. Well, first things first. 2x times x, 2x squared. Now let's do the outer terms. 2x and 7, 14x. Inner terms, negative 3 times x. Last term, negative 3 times 7, negative 21. Once you get there, see if there's anything you can combine. The middle terms, plus 11x, minus 21. And so those will work on anything. Now let's say, just to show you something interesting, they're called conjugates. That'll come into play later with other things in algebra. But conjugates are the exact same terms. It's a binomial, but one has a plus, one has a minus. And when you use a FOIL method on those, watch what happens. 4x times 4x, 16x squared. Then you do your outer terms. 4x times 5, 20x. Then you do your inner terms. Negative 5 and 4, negative 20x. And then your last terms, negative 5 and 5, negative 25. Notice what's going to happen to your middle terms. They're going to cancel. And they do that every time. So if you have something like, let's say, 3x plus 8 and 3x minus 8, you can do the shortcut because the outers, negative 24x, and the inner terms, positive 24x, will always cancel. So it's just going to be 9x squared minus 64. But just to make sure I don't lose anybody, we can do it without the shortcut. Minus 24x plus 24x minus 64. And sure enough, just like they're supposed to, they're going to cancel. 3x squared minus 64. Now, one more special thing. Let's say if I did this. Now, this, however, is not a conjugate. This is actually this. So you can't just say x squared plus 9. Now, that's going to be 2/3 of your answer, but it's not going to be all of it, because watch what happens. First terms, x times x, x squared. Outer terms, negative 3x. Inner terms, negative 3x. outer terms plus 9. So see how, just like I promised, you get the y squared plus 9, but you also get a negative 6 in the middle. Now, there is a shortcut to this. Most people don't use this one as often, but the shortcut is you do square the first and the last, and to get the middle number, you double what the product of those two numbers is. For example, like let's say if I said x plus 4 squared, the shortcut would be square the first, square the last, always plus, and the middle term, positive 4x doubled plus 8x. Now, if you don't like the shortcut, just FOIL it out. It's not like it takes that much more time, but just I like to show you shortcuts for those that have a real number sense about them. Hope that was of help to you. As always, let me know if I can ever do anything else to help. Have a great day.